What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we got a few recipes. We're gonna go over some sandwiches I like to have throughout the day. We're gonna start things off with breakfast, keep it pretty simple. If you want it to be a little bit low fat, go all egg whites. I'm gonna use 100 grams of egg whites, 1 whole egg, 1 serving of our reduced fat cheese. This is just a Mexican blend right there. Then we're also gonna be having 2 slices of pre-cooked bacon. So this is super simple, just gotta throw in the microwave. And then of course we have some little bit of olive oil spray to make sure it doesn't stick. But I'll show you guys the technique I use to cook this. But first thing you're gonna do, go ahead and microwave your bacon just to have that cooked. And then we'll head over to the stove, scramble up our egg, and I'll show you guys the technique I use to make this breakfast sandwich. Also, I don't know how I forgot to get out the bread, but we're gonna be using this Nature's Own 100% whole wheat bread. It is 60 calories a slice. Yes, you can find both higher and low calorie slices of bread, but this is a pretty good middle ground at 60 calories, and it'll hold the sandwich together pretty well. Also, cook your bacon to whatever desired texture you want. If you want it a little chewy, obviously on the low end. If you want it crunchy on the high end. For me, right around 15 to 20 seconds is just about perfect. So we're gonna go with 15. Now we've got our bacon cooked. We've got our pan over medium heat. We're gonna go ahead and put our eggs together. So if you're just use egg whites, you just put the carton on the actual scale, pour it out into the pan, you'll be good. Like I said, I'm gonna mix in 1 whole egg. So we need to measure out our egg whites. We're gonna do 100 grams egg whites and 1 whole egg. We're gonna try the one-handed crack as well. Boom, we are getting good. Hey, everything takes time. Practice makes perfect. I also like to throw a little bit of salt and pepper into the eggs, mix that up, and then it'll go in the pan. We also have our non-stick here. Go ahead, hit your pan with that. The big thing is we really don't want it to stick because the way we're gonna make this is we're gonna kind of have essentially to flip the entire eggs at once. So if anything sticks, it kind of rips it. So we want to make sure that doesn't stick. Salt, pepper, boom. Give that a good mix. And we're actually gonna wait a minute until the oil also gets hot on the hot pan. Now our pan is nice and hot. The little bit of non-stick we put on there is hot as well. So we're gonna go ahead and dump our eggs in there. Just like that. And this is where you're gonna have to kind of hover around your eggs. You can't just leave and let them cook. So you want basically the bottom layer to get cooked. We're gonna throw 2 slices of bread on top of this, let that finish cooking, flip it to crisp up the bread, and then add our cheese and bacon on top of that. So also we'll have to measure out our cheese at some point, so might as well get that ready over here. Put that on the scale, so when we do go to measure that, we're prepared. But yeah, so kind of just have to watch this, let it cook, once again, the bottom layer, and then we'll throw 2 slices of bread down. All right, now I got you guys focused on the eggs themselves. As you guys can see, the color has kind of changed along the bottom. And what we're gonna do is go ahead and take 2 slices of bread. We're gonna put them butt to butt, bottom to bottom, and we're gonna go ahead and lay those on top. So what I like to do is actually go one at a time, make sure it's just on the edge there, boom. And then the other one can go right on the bottom there, boom. We're gonna do kind of press it down. It depends on the size of your pan, depending on how well it fits, but that's pretty good in my opinion. It's gonna absorb some of the egg, and then we're gonna let it finish cooking as well. Sometimes you can actually cover this to help the eggs cook, which I am gonna do. So you can take a cover because what we want is this along the outside that's currently liquid. You can kind of see as you move it. We want that to be firm so when we flip it, we don't make a complete mess. Alrighty, so we've let those eggs cook for a couple minutes. You can always do a quick test. You kind of like move your spatula on the outside so you can see it's still a little moist. You can see you can kind of every once in a while give it a quick test. I actually think that's pretty close to being ready to flip. So we'll probably give it another, like, honestly, like just 30 seconds. Alrighty, I think we are gonna go live and go ahead and give us a flip. Feels pretty good around the outside. All right, Jack, don't mess this up. Although it's not live, I feel like it kind of is. All right, so I like to get my spatula way underneath as much as we can. Make this quick and efficient. Hand, boom, nice. All right, that worked out actually very well. Go ahead, slide it into the middle. It is hot. Boom. All right, so now we have our canvas where we can put our bacon and cheese. What I like to do first off, go ahead, let the eggs cook. And what we're gonna do is like fold the edges in. So I actually do that now. I can show you guys. So we kind of take this little edge of the circle and boom, kind of fold it in. It is gonna break. That is not a big deal because we need it to fold all the way in. Take that, so as well. And then what I personally like to do, you kind of gotta like find the middle a little bit and create a little bit of a crease so you know like where the center of the sandwich is, just so you don't put any ingredients there, because that's where we're gonna actually flip it to close it. So next we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and add our cheese. Once again, we're using 1 serving of cheese, so this is gonna be 28 grams. All right, so that's a little under 28 grams, so we need a touch more. Boom. That should be just about perfect. Then we'll add our 2 slices of bacon as well. Boom. And we'll go this way. Boom, boom, boom. All right, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and take one of the sides, and we're gonna go ahead and fold it over. Boom. As you can see, it's already kind of browning and crisping up. So we'll have that. Boom. Go ahead and center that. And now what we just want to do is melt the cheese and get the other side of the bread nice and crispy brown like that. And just like that, a couple minutes later, we have our sandwich. And here we have our breakfast sandwich. Once again, we have the bacon and cheese nice and melted in there. Go ahead and give this a cross section cut. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know why, but I swear sandwiches taste better when they're cut diagonally, so that's what we do. And then you guys can see, oh yeah, right there. The bacon, cheese, eggs, it's still steaming, so it is still extremely hot. But real quick, before we actually dig in, also Maisie here is naked, so don't look at her too much. Her collar's off. She went swimming the other day. But I'm gonna pair this with some fruit on the side. We're gonna go with a cut up orange. You could really use, pick your favorite fruit, vegetable, whatever it is. Spice things up. I personally love oranges in the morning for whatever reason. Orange juice is a good substitute, but I do like oranges more. But specifically for this video, we're gonna go over these sandwiches throughout the day. So for this sandwich, it is 384 calories, 24 grams of carbs, 16 grams of fat, and 36 grams of protein. That protein is coming from the bacon, the egg whites, the eggs, the cheese, and the bread. So all of that adds up. It's not just like the eggs gave it 36 grams of protein. Everything in here has a little bit. Even the bread has, I think, like 4 or 5 grams. So yeah, that is where all that protein is coming from. But this is a delicious, simple to make breakfast sandwich. The technique I used is a little special, but trust me, it's super simple. Worst case, go ahead, scramble your eggs, put them on some toast, and then add your bacon and cheese. But I think the way we did it was pretty simple, straightforward. We'll give this a quick taste test. Oh, it is still hot. I'm gonna burn my mouth. Our cheese polo, that is so good. I mean, bacon, egg, cheese, bread, absolutely fantastic. And it's done at home, a little healthier with some egg whites, but still tastes amazing. Highly recommend. Breakfast food is so good. Don't just eat this at breakfast. You can eat this any time of day. But that is sandwich recipe number 1 down. We got 2 more on the video. So yeah, stay tuned for those. Alrighty, it is time for sandwich option number 2. I'm sorry, I'm super sweaty. I just actually did some cardio outside, walked Maisie, and I need to eat before I shower just because of, on this bulk, I'm eating a lot of food, so we need to cook something up. But I'm in the mood for sloppy joes, and we're gonna turn these into what I call sloppy jacks. So slightly different, we're gonna go with a 90-10 ground beef. You could go even leaner if you want to, or fattier. Just that will just change the overall calories, not a big deal, but this is the 90-10 ground beef. We're also gonna need some brown sugar. This is a brown sugar substitute. I've used this before on the channel. It is Swerve, the ultimate sugar replacement. We're using some of that, ketchup, mustard, onion powder, and then a pepper and onion mix. If you don't have a mix at your grocery store, they don't sell a mix, you can just buy a white onion, green peppers, cut it up. But this is super simple. Helps make meals when some of the cutting up of the vegetables is already done, and I'd rather not cry cutting up an onion. But I'll go over the exact ingredients for this real quick. So we'll be using 1 pound, or this comes out to be 453 grams of ground beef. They're gonna be using 50 grams of onion, 50 grams of bell pepper. So this comes out to be 100 grams of the mix total. Then we're using 200 grams of ketchup. We'll be using 10 grams of mustard, 15 grams of our brown sugar substitute, and then 5 grams of onion powder. First thing we're gonna do is turn the stove on. We're gonna go ahead and throw our onions and peppers in, get those nice and crispy, have the meat join. Once the meat is brown, then we'll add the rest of these ingredients and let it simmer for probably about 25 to 30 minutes. But let's head over to the stove and get cooking. All right, we have our pot over medium heat. It is rather warm. We're gonna hit some non-stick on there. Boom. And like I said, we're gonna be measuring out about 100 grams of our onion and pepper mix. If you didn't have a mix, it would be 50 grams of each. And then we'll let the onions and peppers cook for about probably 1 to 2 minutes, get nice and crispy, then we'll add the meat. Already, our onion and peppers have been in there for about 2 minutes. But the big thing with this is we still want the meat to hit the actual bottom of the pan, not just land on top of the veggies, because we still want to brown the meat. That's where a lot of flavor comes from. So go ahead, push your veggies to the side, and we'll drop our pound of meat in there. Make sure we press it down. And we're gonna leave the meat like that to sear on one side. Make sure it gets nice and brown, get those char marks which are full of flavor. Flip it, do the same thing, then mash it up and create our mix. Now the beef is in brown on both sides. We'll go ahead and crush it up, mix it in with the peppers and onions, and then add the rest of our goodies. All right, now we have our beef browned as well as our onions and peppers cooking in there. Probably hard to see, but I will say, if you use a fattier beef, you'll probably actually want to drain some of the liquid. That'll just depend on how thick or thin you want your actual sloppy joe to be. I personally like a little bit of a thicker sloppy joe, like mixture, rather than something super runny. So you can see there's a little bit of moisture at the bottom. So I'm actually gonna pour this out, make sure it's completely dry before we add the ketchup and mustard. If you have an 80-20 or 85-15 beef, you'll probably want to drain it even more. If you stay leaner in like the 93 or even 95% lean ground beef, you probably won't have as much to drain. I'm gonna drain this real quick, put it back on the stove at a low simmer, and then we're gonna add our ketchup, mustard, onion powder, and brown sugar substitute. Now our beef is drained. We'll go ahead and add our ketchup. Like I said, we're gonna do 200 grams of ketchup, 10 grams of mustard, 5 grams of our garlic powder, and then 15 grams of our brown sugar substitute. And to measure this out, I am putting my ketchup on the scale, pressing the 0 button. So now we know, okay, there's like nothing added right now, and then whatever the negative is, that's how much I've added so far. So we wanna add 200 grams. 199, we're gonna stop there. 10 grams exactly. Last thing, we're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper and then mix this really, really well. The salt and pepper is just to your preference, so salt and pepper to taste, as they say. Now we mix, and once it is extremely thoroughly mixed, we'll go ahead and let this simmer for about 30 minutes. Also real quick, this is my sous chef. That's Maisie. She always helps me cook and looks for scraps. Is that right, Maisie? Yeah. Say hi to people. Say hi. She's very tired after our walk, right? Good girl. You can lay down if you want. She's watching the Sloppy Jacks. Our Sloppy Joe mix has about 2 minutes left. We're gonna go ahead and toast up our buns. We have two options. So I would say go with a low-calorie hamburger bun if you can find one. But I actually have some leftover hot dog buns and some bread. So that's what we're gonna use. We're gonna do one sandwich is gonna be leftover hot dog buns, and the other sandwich is gonna be our bread. Boom, put those down, put that in the toaster, and then once that's done, we'll pull our Sloppy Joe mix off and go ahead and plate this up. Already we have our buns toasted, our Sloppy Joe mix done. Now the good thing about this is you can pretty much just eyeball this. So I wanna use half of it, so we're just gonna go the eyeball test, put a quarter on each bun, and go from there. Alrighty, and here we have our two Sloppy Joe sandwiches, one on the hot dog bun, one on some 60-calorie sliced bread. Like I said, you can actually find some hamburger buns, but I had this laying around the house, so we're gonna use this up rather than just going buying hamburger buns to probably have a lot more left over and wasted that. First thing I'll do is go over the entire macros for the entire pot of Sloppy Joe mixture we have. It is 997 calories. It is 63 grams of carbs, 44 grams of fat, and 92 grams of protein. And then obviously if we split up into, I guess like quarter servings or quarter pound servings, it comes out to be 249 calories, 16 grams of carbs, 11 grams of fat, and 23 grams of protein. So essentially what that is, so 250 calories about, and you add in whatever bread or bun you have. So this is a 150 calorie hot dog bun, and these are 260 slices of bread, so that's 120. So that's gonna vary your calories a little bit. But just for example, if we were to go with the hot dog bun, it comes out to be 399 calories, 45 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fat, and 28 grams of protein. I'm gonna pair this with a bunch of carrots on the side for a little bit of nutritional value. You can pair it with whatever you want. If you have a potato salad, whatever people like to eat Sloppy Joes with. I honestly haven't had Sloppy Joe in so long, but I need to take a few pictures of this stuff and then we'll dig in. Alrighty, let's go ahead and give this a quick taste test. You know what? Yeah, we'll go with the bread sandwich first. And I keep saying Sloppy Joe, but we're gonna call this a Sloppy Jack. That is so good. Also, we did use reduced sugar ketchup. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier. I'll definitely throw it up in like the description or whatever, but it was reduced sugar ketchup, so If you use full sugar, maybe use a little bit less brown sugar, but this tastes so damn good. That is hot in the middle there. But the great thing about this, you can really pair it with anything. Shoot, you can even put it on like rice or potatoes. You don't need to make a sandwich out of it. You can kind of top any sort of carb source you like with it. But I'm gonna dig into these two guys, eat my carrots. I'll see you guys at the next sandwich recipe. Another one of my favorite sandwich options you can actually also have any time of the day, but today we're having it in the morning. It's gonna be an English muffin, avocado, chicken, and egg sandwich. So it's kind of play on avocado toast. If you want to do like English muffin avocado, we want a little bit more protein and some healthy fats in there. So we're gonna add a chicken thigh and 1 egg on top of that to make it an official sandwich. And the chicken thigh we're gonna use is 91 grams right here. So you could use a bigger chicken thigh, a smaller chicken thigh. It's just gonna affect the overall calories, that kind of thing. But ours is 90 grams. And we seasoned our chicken with some of this Famous Dave's chicken rub. I use it in almost every single video, so Famous Dave's is really good. A little bit of spice, but not too much. Then we go ahead, non-stick down, chicken thigh, non-stick, and this will go in an air fryer at 365 degrees for 12 minutes, flip halfway. All right, yeah, that avocado doesn't look too good. Yeah, all right, we're not gonna use that, unfortunately, but I do have a backup plan, so I'll show you guys that. And the backup plan, since the avocado had gone bad, is this little holy guacamole packet. This thing is 100 calories, and we're only use half of it, so 50 calories will be added onto the sandwich. These holy guacamole things are fantastic. I put them on all kinds of things, toast, my Chipotle bowls, all kinds of stuff. So highly recommend these. They're 100 calories a pop, but once again, we're only gonna use half. All right, so quick change of plans since I want to put the egg on at the very end once the rest of the sandwich is done. We're gonna take half the guacamole pack, put it on 1/2 of the English muffin, add the chicken thigh on top, and then the egg. Now we can go ahead and cook our egg. Now I've got a pan over medium heat. We're gonna hit that with some non-stick, just like that. And we'll go ahead and crack our 1 egg in. Like I said, move it sunny side up so we won't flip it, but you could do over easy, over medium, however you wanna do it. And this would be a big test of the single-handed egg crack as well. Let's go. All right, now our sunny side up egg is done, so we'll go ahead, carefully take that off and lay it right on top of the good old chicken thigh. Boom. I have no idea why my voice just did that. Alrighty, and there we have it, our breakfast sandwich, anabolic avocado toast type thing. But real quick, we'll go over the macros. And of course, we have maize on the side. If there's food, maize is in the room. It is 378 calories, 31 grams of carbs, 14 grams of fat, and 30 grams of protein. So what we'll do real quick, I'm gonna see if you guys can get the little oozing of the egg real quick as I press this on. Hopefully it's focused. And then... oh, it came out all the other side. Darn it, you can see it like all right there. Hopefully. That would have been some food ASMR, but unfortunately we missed. Otherwise, we're gonna do a quick taste test. Oh, this looks so good. I'm like starving too. I could definitely charge like $12.50 for this at like a first watch or something. That is so good. That's delicious. Highly recommend. Otherwise, we got one last recipe for this video, so I'll see you guys then. In between meals, we have a tired puppy right here. What's she so tired from, huh? You go swimming yesterday? Oh, nope, sorry, not yet. That was yesterday. All right, so the last recipe of the video is gonna be just a simple PB&J. Yes, I get fancy sometimes, but also every once in a while, you know, I need a little bit childhood nostalgia, and we're just gonna go with a simple peanut butter and jelly. We're not gonna make it anabolic besides adding a protein shake on the side, which I'll talk about in a second. We're just gonna do 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of this strawberry preserve. Zoom in there.
There we go.
Boom, so we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of both of those. Gonna measure those out real quick. And then, yeah, pretty simple, peanut butter, strawberry preserve. Then we're gonna make a shake. This is just Shred Sprint Labs isolate protein, which is 120 calories for 28 grams of protein. So that's the anabolic side of the meal. And 8 ounces of almond milk for 30 calories. But real quick, I'm gonna put this together. Other one, hey. There, yeah, good girl. And watch, she's gonna stand up. Oh, she's next to me. Good girl. You can do it if you need to. Should be pretty clear. I hope. Alright. Ready to go, peanut butter. You need to get quick, Boom, that's a peanut butter and jelly with a chocolate protein shake on the side. Comes out to be 562 calories, 56 grams of carbs, 20 grams of fat, and 45 grams of protein. Super simple. That's gonna wrap up the video with a simple peanut butter and jelly. It's not always super fancy in the kitchen. Sometimes it's the basics, protein shake, peanut butter and jelly. We're kind of in a rush, so I didn't have a ton of time to cook. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Peace.